All right, good afternoon. Excited. Conference play is here. Wrapping up last week. I was really happy for our guys to be able to go out there and for homecoming. To finish up non-conference play undefeated. That was we were able to accomplish the first goal that we set out for this season. I thought our guys went out and definitely battled for 60 minutes. There were some mistakes that were made, some things that we've got to continue to grow and clean up. But for our guys to go through the non-conference schedule with every opportunity that we had to finish up 3-0, it's exactly where we wanted to be. But now all of our focus and energy goes towards the conference opener and kicking off the American Conference play here in Orlando. It feels like we've done this before, but we're definitely excited about the opportunity to go play a phenomenal football team. You look at UCF. This is a team that has been completely dominant in their first two games. They went to Maryland on the road, ended up getting a victory. I think it was 38-10. Their defense shut down one of the top rushing offenses in the country, held them to 42 yards rushing. They created takeaways offensively. You can see the confidence which they're playing with. Once again, it all starts with their quarterback. He's a phenomenal player. Was able to spread the ball around to some highly skilled players on the perimeter, and I think they ran for over 250 yards in that game as well. So it's going to be a heck of a matchup. It's one that we're definitely looking forward to, and I said it a few weeks ago, and I think it's shown up that this is a championship caliber football team that we're going to compete against, and it's going to take definitely our best effort going on the road, but I can tell you our kids are excited about this opportunity.
How much does having it already worked out for them and prepared for them until Irma got in the way, what does that do for your preparation this time around?
Probably the biggest difference is just a better sense of who we are. That going into week two, there were so many unknowns of areas that are areas of strength for us, and some things that we've got to clean up and continue to improve on. That's probably the biggest difference between preparing for them for the week two and now where we are. We do have some thoughts that are going to carry over that we're going to take into this game plan. The biggest challenge for a coach is not to get bored. I mean, you obviously need to go through, and because you have more time, you sometimes coaches they want to add something. They want to throw in probably more scheme than is necessary. You've got to get good at executing what you're going to do. To be able to give our players an early we are further ahead because of the week that we had in preparation. But you don't want to make it too complex, or you don't want to go overboard with the amount of information you're providing for your players, because they have to be the ones that go out there and play fast. You don't want to carry too much going into it and kind of overkill in your game prep. So we've spent a lot of time last night, this morning, going back and evaluating our early thoughts, and then we're going to progress as the week goes along, make sure we put our guys in the best position to be successful.
The same token, what kind of changes have they done differently in their first two ball games?
Well, we had their they played Florida International the first game, so that was all a part of our game plan. And then they did not play the week after, so they've only played the one game, which was this last weekend versus Maryland. So that's really the only new information that we have, and so we're going through and evaluating it. I guess they're as good as I thought they were is probably the biggest thing that I've taken out of it. I knew that this is a top-notch opponent, going into week two, and they showed up and proved that correct. They're against a good Maryland squad.
The fact that they only played twice, you played 3 times, is there any advantage either way in that?
I don't think so. I mean, you sit there and you look at it. We've got a pretty good sense of where we are right now in playing 3 games. I think they've got a pretty good sense of where they are in playing their 2 games. I think it's just pretty much a toss-up. I mean, I'd like to, I guess we've had a couple guys that have gone down, that we're at to see where their availability is, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple guys back here this week. So, that'd be the only thing that I could see, making any part of the difference.
Speaking of that, you said at the beginning of the year you had 22 guys you felt on defense you could go out there and play with. You're totally into your depth now. How many of these guys? how many more names are going to have to step up this week?
Well, you just got to have continued growth. I think at one point Saturday night we were 8 or 9 guys down on our starting defense, and so it's definitely unique when you look out there and it's an area where we thought we'd have great depth. We're really challenging it, and I've really been proud of the guys that have stepped up. I mean, you look at guys like O'Brien Goodson had a phenomenal game last week. Is really starting to play with a lot more confidence. Some of those younger players, Tim Hart. That have been thrust into playing a lot more snaps than we anticipated this early in the season, but they're showing that they're ready, and they show that the importance of their preparation and their overall development is something I've really been pleased seeing. And so it's a next man ready, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple guys back this week. We still got to evaluate where a couple guys went down on Saturday, how they progressed through the week, and I know that the guys that get on that plane to go play this game are going to be excited about the opportunity and are going to put everything they have into it.
Is Wyndham one of them, Tito?
Yeah, Tito, he was not able to play last week. We're hopeful that this week we'll get a little bit more out of him. And so we'll see as the week goes on.
Dorsey, I take it, is in the same boat with that. Marcus Green, the other quarterback, where are they?
Same, all in the same status. And so, right now we don't, you'll hear early in the week, we knew we won't have any answers today. Probably won't have any answers till, probably Wednesday or Thursday to see how these guys are able to prepare and practice. And, but regardless, whoever has the opportunity to cross that white line, they've got to be prepared for what's in front of them, and they've got to go execute their job and do it at a high level.
Have you ever seen anything like this? 3 games played, 9 guys have been starters on one side of the ball gone. Yeah, it's definitely been a unique start to the year, and it's one of those things that sometimes you see injuries that come up, and some of that can be attributed to so many different factors. This has just been crazy bad luck in a sense. I mean, the issues that we've had nothing to do with training. We haven't had many muscle injuries. It's just truly freak injuries, and so at the end of the day, it is a part of the game. But our guys, they embrace the opportunity to have to raise their level. Guys know that they might have to play more snaps than what we initially anticipated, and we were not able to roll as many guys. But our guys are excited. They're excited about kicking off conference play, and that's the biggest thing. This is what you do it for. Non-conference, every game is important. All right, but when you kick off the American Conference, the American Conference opener, man, it has all of our attention. Had all of our attention in the summer. This is a game that we've put a great deal of prep into.
Speaking of the American, I think some people are now saying that UCF could challenge South Florida for the East title from what they've seen so far.
I mean, we're playing a really good football team, and one that is going to challenge. I said it early in the season after watching them all through the summer and knowing the guys they had coming back, seeing them in game one. I just think they're definitely validating the point that they have a great deal of talent, and they have coaches that obviously are very successful in putting those talented players in a great position to be successful. And so I would like to think that this is two very similar football teams, and guys that have both in the second year with their coaching staffs. You see that growth, that confidence that they have. That's what's going to make Saturday such a fun opportunity for us, because I think there's respect given on both sides. I mean, we've got a tremendous respect for the program that we're playing, and we've got to go out there and put our best foot forward.
Talk a little bit about their quarterback and what he's brought to them, and do they are they a home run team? Do they like to smash mouth, play action? What do they do?
They can do a little bit of it all. I mean, they stretch the field vertically. Their quarterback's got a strong arm and quick release. They're going to stretch you sideline to sideline. They're physical up front, where they can get the tough yards when necessary, and pound it down the middle. And so it's you have to. They present a lot of different challenges, and and they've got some big time receivers that can stretch the field, and then if the speed that they possess, getting their playmakers in space, you got to do a great job of tackling. You got to be accountable for your man and your zone, and if you do that, then you still got to go make the play. So it's going to be a fun matchup to be a part of, because there's going to be explosive players on both sides of the field, and in the special teams.
You mentioned the next man up mentality with so many guys on defense that run down. Has it changed what you wanted to do schematically, because you have a lot of guys who maybe you weren't planning on seeing this many snaps? Have you had to change things?
Yeah, we've always been pretty multiple in what we do. We want to play to the strengths of our players, and so that's something that we look at. We're always going to look at. So to say that it's changed or what we want to do schematically, no. I mean, it's because we've been really multiple, last year and then moving forward into this year. But the biggest thing is just for us to continue to try to put our guys in position to achieve that success.
Talked after the game about third down, get off the field on third downs. UCF does that extremely well, at least in the first two games. What are the ingredients that, it's one thing to say we want to be better on third down. What are some of the things specifically on defense that you guys want to improve that will like better?
Yeah, we've got to communicate better. We've got to make sure that everybody that's on the field, all 11 hats are doing their job and putting themselves in the right position, and then you got to go execute. I thought you looked at last week and really almost the last 2 weeks, the third down efficiency that the teams had. I mean, their quarterbacks have located the ball well. Their receivers have done a good job getting open. When we have been in position, we haven't always made the play there in that situation. And you look at our first and second down defense, we've done a lot of good things. Last week, I think when you look at it, they were 10 of 20 on third down, but then they also were 3 of 4 on fourth down. And so you're basically thinking that those are still that many extended drives and an opportunity for them to have at least 3 more downs in the series. And so we played a lot more snaps defensively than we wanted to, and we've got to do a much better job of getting off the field in that situation. So it's communication, overall execution, and then we got to continue to impact the quarterback to make sure that we're disrupting what they want to do.
Speaking of snaps, South Florida and you run an up-tempo style, and you're going to be upwards of 90 to 100 plays per team. How do you prepare for that defensively?
Well, our guys, that's what we defend every day in practice. We're going to play fast. We're going to practice fast. Every team has its own unique, kind of flair to their tempo. And I can tell you that UCF is definitely going to play at a great speed. But the biggest thing for us is, we want to execute as fast as we can execute, and to go fast. And some of the negative plays we've had this year offensively have been when we're trying to play fast, and so that we've got to make sure that as we're pushing the tempo, as we're trying to play fast, that we're executing at a high level. And so it's going to be a part of the game, and there's no hiding it. But our guys, we practice against tempo every day, and so it's they should be adjusted. It's about putting yourself in position to execute the best at tempo.
What do you say to your team about personal foul during the games?
I don't say not many nice things. I can tell you it's that's something we got to get cleaned up. Our guys, we work so hard, and we do everything that we can to make sure that we're putting ourselves in the best position to be successful. I think that some of the things that have shown up are just. You got to play with a controlled aggression and controlled passion. And our guys, as you sit there and you look at something that is definitely being called at a tighter sense than what maybe it has in the past, and that's good. I mean, it's for what, but we've got to make sure that we're always in control of our emotion. It's something that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with playing with passion, but you got to do it in the right manner.
UCF defensively, were they just that good, or was it the fact that they knocked their second-team quarterback out and Maryland just didn't have anything else?
I think they're that good. It's this defense last year was one of the better defenses in our league. The defense here this year is going to be one of the best defenses in our league. They're playing at a high level. You're knocking a quarterback. You're knocking a quarterback out. I know that does something to a team, but when you see how they stopped the run and the things that they were able to do, the passion that they play with, I mean, it's a really good opponent, and one that is going to present some challenges. And like I said, we're excited about the opportunity to go against them.
Pretty cool to see Jake Elliott at that 61-yarder.
No, it was awesome. We got off the practice field yesterday, and right when I walked in the building, somebody kind of going crazy, talking about Jake hitting that kick, and so we're proud of Jake. I mean, he's a tremendous ambassador for our program, and to see him have that success, it was definitely fun to see, and I'm sure glad we worked those 60-yarders in practice last year.
How much was your role in his development, Coach, and beyond?
Well, I mean, I tell you, I mean, I was here for his last year, so I feel like we had a great. Jake's an incredible young man. A 4-year All-Conference player, and he's been talented since the day he stepped foot on Memphis campus, and obviously showing he can do it at the next level. But it's something that he had to work at. And he grew, he progressed, he developed when he was here. You take a very talented player and you that has a great work ethic, and you see that progression. It definitely speaks volumes for the program.
And when you look at that history, you got Gotti, you got Jake, and you got the very first Gross Award winner in Allison. I mean, can you sell this as kicker you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that definitely attracts most specialists. And you talk about the place kickers, but you look at our punters, you look at our return game. I mean, it's something that we want to be known for. And special teams play a third. It's a third of the game, and it's no more. An offense or defensive snap is no more important than a special team snap. And that's one thing we talk about all the time is we want to change the game in special teams, and it showed up. I mean, the first two of the first 3 games we played, we've had a game-changing play in our special teams unit. I think that you look. I was really proud of that group here this week. Our field goal team went out, and they were perfect on their opportunities there last week. It helped us be. We're 7-7 in the red zone. You obviously want to score a touchdown every time that we're down there, but when you have points and you can put points on the board, that definitely continues with the momentum that you have. And I was really proud of those guys going out there and executing.
What are UCF special teams like?
They're dangerous. You see their returners. When you play a good football team with great athleticism, return game's going to be one that we definitely have to keep under control. Their kick returner is a guy that can take it to the house. Punt returner, a young man that came in late here this offseason, Mike Hughes is I think he had a 40-plus yard return there in their opener. He's a guy that can definitely, if you don't cover down, I like watching him return. He's a fearless returner, but one you have to account for, and so we've got to do a great job with both of our coverage units, because these guys can definitely make you pay if you're not doing your job.
Patterson had his first career field goals. He's going to continue, or he's going to get more to load at field goal kicking?
We're going to continue to evaluate those guys, continue to give them an opportunity to be successful. And, I was pleased that both guys were able to hit kicks. And we got 2 good kickers, and we've got confidence in both of them. And so as they continue to progress, we'll evaluate that as the season goes.
So do you know if you were in a game-winning situation, do you know who you throw out there? It would be just a feel thing?
Yeah, I know. No, I mean, it's one of those things that it is a feel, and as how our guys performing, but to know that you have 2 guys that you have confidence in, that you can put in and that can have success, so is something that we're definitely glad that we have that depth.
Is there one guy better at long field goals than the other?
Not really. I mean, they're both. I mean, they both have strong legs. They both can. If there was one that was extremely better at one or the other, then that would be the guy. And right now, they're both doing a good job. They both earned the right to have an opportunity to go out there and kick. And so, that's what we're doing.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.